welcome back, bro.
Yo, it was good.
Fuck yeah, what'd you get to eat?
Honestly, bro, I just grabbed some fucking fast food, to be
Yo,
honest.
just say I'll
I
do that sometimes too, bro. I just say fuck
was in the
it.
mood. I was just in the mood. Although it's gross, I was in the mood. I don't know why. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean it gets me too. But we was talking about Spotify sponsor. What you said before. Camera got
All
cut
right,
off.
yeah. Spotify, what's up with that sponsorship? Spotify, what's up with that sponsorship? I need it. ASAP.
What what
Not
what
even,
did they do with the Spotify sponsorship? I'm not entirely like familiar with what
I
Spotify
have no
does for
idea.
sponsorship.
I'm just talking my. I have no idea what they do. I'm just talking. But like the way I was promoting Spotify earlier, like I was saying in general, Spotify is such
Oh
a
no,
good
I feel you. No,
such
I
a good
get what you're
platform
saying.
for putting out shit. Like they're like I was saying, we were talking about how good their playlisting is and shit like
Word.
that. So I
So
was
you
saying,
just
hey, what's up?
talk about
What's
like advertising and shit. No, I feel you. I feel you. I was just like, oh, is Spotify giving deals now? Like that'd be a game changer.
and me to be the way I'm promoting their ass.
So shit. Throughout this whole interview, you've been, you showing you like hella passionate about this music shit. Like you said earlier, like this is all you do, type shit. So like, what drives you every day to keep going and pushing forward? Like what like inspires you and what motivates you to keep going?
I think I'm one of those people that I got a heavy drive. You feel me? Like I'm not too easily satisfied. And like I want like once I'm done completing what I've made, I'm like one of those people that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I'm a really hard worker. Like I'm constantly just making shit. So I mean, the drive is just to always want to be better type shit. I have a drive to always want to be better than I was before, to always try to get better, and that's really what pushes so much of like that's really what breeds that output that I have, and like that's really what determines why I put out so much because ultimately like I don't get tired of working. Like I bust my ass, but I don't get tired of working. And even when I tell myself like, oh, all right, I worked hard enough. I already, I made 50 songs. Let me get a break. Like I'll tell myself that, but then I'll still end up going to the studio anyway. So it's like one of those things where I don't know, man. It's just I'm just a very driven person when it comes to this music shit, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to constantly be like on top of it.
Word. Yeah, well, shit. Like it definitely seems like with your work ethic, like you put in a lot of work this year. We ain't got we got an EP from you. We ain't got a project. This will be the first project of the year, but you put in a lot of work with the EP, and then you got shit ton of singles going all the way back to January. So it's like you definitely show that with your work ethic. Now you are 100% independent. You do have management. So what's it like? You know what I mean? Because you used to manage yourself, I'm assuming. So
Right.
what's it like
Uh,
having management? Does it take a lot of weight off your shoulders?
yeah, it has in some ways. I mean, it's definitely taking the weight off in terms of kind of me trying to figure out a lot of the like trying to figure out stuff like where I'm going to be playing shows or like what type of like like stuff having to do with my merchandise and stuff having to do with more so the marketing side and the business side, like things that I would have had uh less accessibility without him or whatever. But it's a pretty like I have a manager, but it's a pretty laissez-faire relationship. Like he's kind of hands off with me, and he kind of just like I kind of just tell him like, "Yo, I need this from you," and then he'll pretty much, you know, point me in the direction of somebody that can get that for me or whatever. And that's kind of how we work on pretty much like a. It's very kind of hands free because I'm still making all these moves that well I mean I've just finished making all these moves now with the project where like I just started getting managed by him a little bit before Corona. So we were gonna start like the first move we were gonna make is to go on the tour, the Facebook Fist Punch tour with
Yeah.
Gizmo, but then that got canceled with Corona. So the whole point is like he's definitely helped me out in some ways, but it's a very, like I said, laissez-faire relationship. Like I'm still pretty much doing my own thing entirely. He's just really helping me, like point me in the right direction of shit that I need help with, like especially when it comes to just marketing or promo shit in general.
Yeah, that tour would have been wild. I was supposed to interview you guys on that tour.
Right.
Yeah, when you guys stopped in Greensboro, I was supposed to interview you guys. I was
Yeah.
talking to him way back then about this shit. Um, that tour would have been nuts. I'm mad that didn't happen.
Oh,
Hopefully that shit does get rescheduled in the future. I'd really
oh
like to
yeah,
see
of course.
that.
Of course. Once everything kind of slows down a little bit, we'll figure out the next step for that.
So we know we talk about the benefits of management, and you're still independent. A label. Do you think there's any benefit for you in signing to a label? Do you have any interest in that?
Um, at the moment, not necessarily, but of course, the possibility is always there because of just depending on the nature of the deal, it could work out for me or not work out for me. So it just depends on what the situation is. But for the most part, I'm trying to remain an independent art, like as independent as I can. Like the main things that I was thinking about working with like labels with is more so like project deals or distribution deals or like situations where they help me when it comes to
Yeah.
like pushing out my stuff and rolling out certain things and marketing, but not so much like full control over my me as an artist because like I said, I really value that independence, and I'm really trying to maintain that for as long as I possibly can. Like as long as I can be independent fully and not sign to anybody and all that. If I can be that way my whole career and still be, still achieve what I want to, then that's what I'm gonna do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you're more or less looking to, as far as working with labels and stuff, you're more or less looking to
I'm
like
willing to
more
play
sell a
ball.
project and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm willing to play
Yeah.
ball, but I'm not trying to sign nothing. You feel me?
Because like it's crazy where we're at in 2020 because like they labels really don't have much control over shit anymore. It balls in the other court now.
Yeah.
Like I remember like years ago, SZA and TDE signed that deal to Universal. I think it was Universal. Don't quote me on that, but it was like a 70-30 deal, and she got like 70, and that was like monumental. And ever since, I mean, I'm sure there was shit before that, but ever since then, for me, I've noticed like labels starting to lose less and less control. And now I know 3 artists this year. I'm not gonna say their names, so I don't speak on anybody's business. But like I know 3 artists this year who have sold albums to labels and gotten like 30 to 70,000 for the album, and it's like the label don't own, like they don't own the music, you know what I mean, but they gotta, you know what I mean, recoup that 70,000, then you get your royalties and stuff, and it seems like shit's just playing out more or better into the hands of artists. So it's like, do you
Yeah.
feel like there's what do you feel like the purpose is to having a label versus staying independent? Like selling them a project and stuff like that. Obviously, you got the upfront money, but do you feel like it's mainly just a marketing thing or helping them, spread your name out there?
No, of course. I mean, obviously the labels are gonna do their job is to push you through the machine and to promote you as much as possible and to make you, to market you in the best way possible. Obviously, that's their idea. That's their, their motto or whatever. But I think for I think a majority of artists, like if you really care about the art, you want to remain as independent as possible because the less independent you are, the more control they have on things that you want control over. Whether that means royalty percentage, royalty splits, uh, whether that means ownership, whether that means creative control. If you're somebody that really, really values the art, you know, it's best to stay away from the label unless you really feel like you're in a deal that is going to be beneficial and work out for you entirely and be like fair and be correct. But otherwise, like me, for example, like I don't want to sign any deals because I don't want to be locked onto some shit where I have to slave away the only thing that I really fucking like doing. So
Yeah.
I would rather end. I get to own it if I'm independent. If the moment that I'm not independent, or don't get me wrong, not the moment that I'm not independent, but a lot of times in labels, you don't have hardly any ownership of the shit that you're creating. Like you don't own any of the shit you're creating anymore. So it takes away the possibility for you to be able to earn as much and to be able to do as much things like for me, of course, labels are beneficial because they push you through the machine and they're gonna put you in people's faces because people got to be told what to listen to. They're picking that for you and putting it right there for you. So of course, it's beneficial and it's helpful and it's a good way to get your name up there quick. But the idea is now you're locked in, and if you don't play this shit properly, even if you play this shit properly, it's a big risk. It's a big financial risk. It's a big risk with your career. So I advise all artists that have self-respect and that appreciate creation and have a big passion and have a passion for the music, that don't want it to be contrived, that don't want it to be manipulated from outside sources. Try to remain as most independent as possible. Just try to remain as independent as possible. You're gonna make more money off streams. You're gonna make more money off percentages. You're gonna own more shit. It's best to just try to remain independent unless you're somebody that's only in it for the money. If you're in it for just the money, go sign to a label and go figure out your business deal of how you're gonna make more money. Feel me? But if you really care about music, being as independent as possible is the way you want to go. And that's me. That's not for the whole world. That's for me. That's what I think works for me and people like me, people that value this shit. So that's the best way I could wrap that up.
You ever heard of the Matter streaming service? You heard about that? That's going around. It's like a new version of like SoundCloud.
The what streaming service?
It's not. I don't think it's a streaming service. It's like an app. It's like SoundCloud, but it's called
What?
Matter. They're trying to be like a better version of SoundCloud. I don't know if you've heard of it or
Matter?
whatever. Yeah,
I've not heard of it.
they've been seeing that going around a lot. So I just didn't know if you were hip to it, and I just wanted to ask you your thoughts on it. But
Matter? No, I haven't heard of it, to be honest.
yeah, apparently they're trying to like. They're not really trying to compete with like Spotify and Apple Music. They're trying to be like a better version of SoundCloud and be more artist friendly and hope not have all the same problems. But we'll see.
Right.
SoundCloud's got a serious fucking copyright problem. But
Yeah, they really fucking do.
it's just like I'm curious to see if they're gonna be able to keep up. You know what I mean? Because SoundCloud's been in debt and been almost down and out multiple times throughout the years. So
Yeah, they were almost down for the count multiple times and they came back. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, SoundCloud doesn't look like it's gonna up their game that much. And if this Matter shit, if these people behind the Matter shit know what they're doing, who knows? But unless SoundCloud makes some serious changes, they're not going nowhere. And either way, we need fresh air. We need some competition. We need them to put a fire under their ass. At least with Matter, now SoundCloud's like, fuck, we have something.
yeah, now we gotta do something.
But let's say this Matter shit builds up more, they're gonna be like, fuck, now we got something that is actually gonna compete with it. Like we need to put a fire under our ass, which is beneficial. The competition for me, fuck it, let it happen. It's beneficial. I'd rather they fucking compete. I'd rather I'd rather there's more platforms for people to spread their music. Ultimately, I think it's gonna have a positive benefit for everybody at the end of the day, as long as it's a useful service, as long as they can get to that point.
Facts. And with the virus and shit like that, how do you feel like the virus is gonna affect the industry in the future? We don't even know when we're gonna be out of the virus. I heard Florida's reopening soon, so I don't know.
Yeah, Florida's little by little reopening. With the future of the virus, it's kind of hard to tell exactly. I mean, I presume that once things slow to a rate where it's back to our perceived normal or whatever, or our whatever we thought was normal before, I think once it slows down to that rate, then it's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be way easier for people to start setting up in shows and shit. But with this whole Corona shit, it's definitely affected, the ability to like, all these music venues, everything to do with this industry, because you can't play shows, you can't fucking meet people, you can't tour, and that's a humongous part, especially as an independent artist of the game. And yeah, it's tough to say exactly where it's gonna be, but I would presume all goes well that if we reach some type of normal, some type of level where it reaches back to what is normal, or to a level where even if there is corona, it's like it's reached a level where it's very controlled, and it's, you know, it's pretty safe for people to go out. I think things will slowly start picking up again, and we'll reach our back to normal type shit. But with the way Corona's looking, it honestly looks like there isn't going to be a regular, there isn't going to be a regular way of, we're not going to go back to our regular way of life probably till middle of 2021. That's my guess.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I'm not Socrates, I'm not a fucking philosopher, but I'm not Nostradamus, but I have a good feeling there's going to be another spike, and I have a good feeling it's going to take a while, at least another 6 months when we're in 2021 already, just to get the ball rolling. That's what I think. Hopefully, we can come back quicker. I'm just guessing, but it's definitely affected the industry in negatively in a lot of ways. But it's also been beneficial for the streaming services in part, because a lot of people are home. A lot more people are home now, and what the fuck are they doing? Nothing. They're bored as shit, so they're playing music. So that, you know,
That's
there's
been
gives and takes
beneficial in a
with
sense.
everything. There's gives and takes with everything, but it's definitely a negative. It fucking sucks. It canceled my tour. It canceled me and Gizmo's tour. So, you know,
Yeah, man, that was a disappointing day. I got that. I got
it
that.
canceled everybody's
The
tour.
email. I'm like,
So
fuck.
I shouldn't take it personally. It canceled everybody's tour. You know.
Yeah, no, that's facts. And I think, I mean, I always try to look at the glass half full per se. You know what I mean? So like taking away from this whole thing, um, everybody kind of got to focus on the music a little more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it gave it for me personally, from my perspective, it gave me a little bit some ideas that I would like to see done even when this is all over. Like we did a live stream show on 420 because we do a 420 show every year. Had to cancel it obviously this year, but we got all the artists together in my living room, put up a green screen, and went on YouTube and live streamed the whole thing. And we had like 500 plus people tune in, and like there were people from Germany, Russia, like that whole side of the globe, people that would have never got to see these artists live. You know what I mean? So it was like
Got a chance. Yeah.
even when the virus is over, I'd still like to see things like that get done. And I've seen other promoters do it too. Things like this Zoom interview, like I prefer to do interviews in person. And the whole start of the virus, I was like, bruh, like I hate doing interviews over the computer. I want to do them all in person type shit. And then I kind of warmed up to the idea of it. And now even after the virus is over, this is still a good way for me to reach people. You know, good way to do some interviews. Like I started doing IG live interviews because of the virus. Like I started doing some interviews on IG live, and now it's like a little series that I've been doing once a week. And having
Right.
new
Yeah. So
guests on there. So
it's introduced a lot of new beneficial tools, kind of like that that we weren't really using before because we weren't just you weren't considering them. You know.
yeah, and there's a series that's been going around. DJ Esud, who's Two Chains DJ. Um,
Mm.
mad cool dude. He's been throwing parking lot concerts because
Ah.
venues down here can have like major outdoor venues are allowed 10% capacity. So he's been, and obviously they're gonna do it for fucking cheap because what else? How else they gonna make money right now?
Yeah, they're just doing it for fun.
Yeah, he's got he just had Gucci Mane headline one.
The
Um,
parking lot.
yeah, the parking lot concert series he's been doing, and I'm like, that's something mad
Parking
innovative,
lot.
bro. The cars will pull up. You know what I mean? Like in the parking spaces and shit, so they're distanced and people got face masks on and shit. And then the stage is up and they got a big projector so you can see what's going
Oh,
on the
they come in a car.
stage. Yeah, and they got food trucks and shit.
That's
Like
dope.
that's dope as fuck.
That's an experience right there. Listen, that's something that I myself might fucking look into a way if there's some obviously not, well maybe not me because not everyone's gonna fucking pull up in a fucking whip to some, but like that idea in itself is really good. Like when we're in this fucking time where we can't do shit, at least there's somebody out there finessing their way into making shit work for them. Like,
Yeah,
if I can have a parking lot show, believe me, I would. Hope, maybe there's some way to set that up. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's a really good plan. And in general, I mean, yeah, man, this Corona shit has just forced everybody to work differently. Like you said, it gave people a chance to work on their music, gave people a chance to think about things. But it's just very limiting, obviously, and
yeah,
it's concerning. It's concerning how long is this gonna last? How long are we gonna be in this same loop? But
bruh.
we'll see.
When this shit started, I was talking to my boy, and I'm like, man, it'll be like 2 weeks. We'll just, you know what I mean? This shit'll be over a couple weeks. And then I'm like, oh shit, it kept going. And God, I'm like, yo, I was wrong as fuck. I wasn't even just a little bit wrong. I was wrong as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
this shit ain't stop until like 2022, bro. Like, what?
Yeah. It's just one of those things where what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What can we do?
Fucking. So, Destroyer is, by the time this interview drops, is out now.
Yeah.
So what's your
Go
favorite
get
song of the
that.
project?
Go get
Yeah,
that.
go get that. Go download that. Go listen to that. I'm excited as fuck to hear it. Well, I've already pretend like I've already heard it. It's a great project. I fucking loved it. What's your favorite song off the shit?
Uh, I got like a top. I got like I guess like a top 3 or top 4. Um, honestly, I think my favorite like the top track I think I like the most on the project is either gonna be the title track, which is Destroyer. Whoops, sorry. The title track, which is Destroyer, I think, or let me just give you a top 3. Let me just give you a top 3. My top 3 off Destroyer is gonna be Speedy. There's a song called Speedy. Here's Johnny, and a song called Paranoia. And then I guess you could add in the running the title track Destroyer. But yeah, Speedy, banger. Prod ZCR. That I have a really good feeling about Speedy. Here's Johnny, banger. I don't remember who produced that. I'm not sure if it was Phony. Shout out, I don't know who produced Here's Johnny, but shout out you. And Paranoia 2 is another crazy ass song. I'm telling you, those are my favorite songs off the project. I think those songs are gonna do extremely well. Speedy, Here's Johnny, and Paranoia, bangers, crazy ass songs. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, you guys got to go get that. Go download that. Save it. Fucking share it. Screenshot that shit. Put it on your story. All that stuff, man. Fucking that shit is out right now. Fucking but yeah, man, real shit. I'm excited to hear it when it drops. That's probably gonna be one of the first things I'm doing that day.